Hey there, good day class. So we are now in the lesson 5, which is loops and files. So our topics will be while loop, do while loop, for loop, break statement, continue statement, and using files for data storage. No? For our learning outcomes, you should be able to understand and use increment and decrement operators, counters, repetition structures using while loop, do while loop, and for loop statements. Implement repetition control structure using while, do while, and for loop statements. Using while loops for input validation. Write programs that execute statements repeatedly using while, do while, and for statements. Implement program control with break and continue statements, and use files to read and write text files for data storage using loop statements. So as we go on, so matatakal natin lahat yan and we will meet that objectives. So for our first topic, which is while loop. So let's talk about first what is a loop. So the key point is a loop is a part of a program that repeats. So aside from C++ na i-discuss natin later on, I'm sure, pero baka hindi nyo alam, that you have encountered loops. So the best example that I can give is, for example, nag-login kayo sa Facebook. Then you enter your username and your password and then nakapasok ka sa iyong account. So what if you didn't enter the correct username and password? You got it wrong. So the tendency is you will land at the same page over and over again. The page that is asking your username and password. So hanggat mali yung nai-enter mo na username and password, paulit-ulit ka lang sa page na yon, asking for a username and password. Now, if you got the username and your password right, tsaka ka lang makakapag-login. So, paulit-ulit ka lang. No, hanggat hindi mo nakukuha yung correct username and password. So, that is considered as a loop. Now, it is a part of a program that repeats, and we will discuss it in C++. A while loop is simply you repeat statements while the expression is true. So, kung babalikan natin yung if-else, kapag true yung condition, there is a certain block of statement na mag-display. If else, meron din. If you added else statement. Pagdating sa looping, magre-repeat yung statement or paulit-ulit na mag-execute yung statement as long as the expression or the condition is true. Unlike if else, kapag true, mag-execute ng statement, then tapos na, terminate. Unlike while loop, paulit-ulit siya as long as the condition is true. It will only terminate if the condition is finally false. So while loop has two important parts. Number one is an expression that is tested for a true or false value. And number two, a statement or block that is repeated as long as the expression is true. So this is our syntax for while loop. So we have while. Ayan yung while. Then, dito nakalagay yung expression, inside the parenthesis. Then, we have open and close brackets again. And inside that bracket, nandyan yung iyong statements. Yan. So, this is a flow chart, para mas maintindihan natin yung process, paano ba nagwo-work yung while loop. So, this is the expression, So, if true, yung expression, it will execute this statement. Lalabas ng statement na to. Then, hindi siya magta-terminate agad. Babalik siya dito. And again, test the expression. So if it is again true, it will again display the statement and babalik ulit dito. And the process repeats. So when finally the expression becomes false, so terminate na yung looping and tapos na yung looping. Ayan. So false na siya. So how the while loop works? So again, this is our syntax, while, and then the condition, and then the statements. First, the condition is evaluated. So if it is true, the statement are executed. Then the condition is being evaluated again. So kapag na-execute na yung statement, so hindi natatapos dun lahat, babalik siya again dun sa condition to test if it is true uli or kung false ba uli. So if it is false, the loop is exited. Tapos na yung while loop. And an iteration is an execution of the loop. Yan. So let's try an example. So let us declare a variable. Number is equal to 0. Then, add tayo ng while loop. Sa loob ng parenthesis na to, dito mo ilalagay yung condition. For example, number is less than 5. Then, inside these two brackets, nandito yung statement na mag-execute if the condition is true. For example, cout hello universe. Okay. Hello universe, \n. Then, outside the loop, meron tayong statement na cout that, and that's all. Yan. So, this is simple sample of a while loop. So, let's see first the output. Okay. So, kung napapansin nyo, dun sa source code natin, isa lang yung hello universe. But on the output, no, we have here 5. And then the that's all statement. So, how does while loop work? So, first, no, we initialize value to number, which is 0. So, automatic the number is equal to 0. Then, we have a while loop here, and we have a condition. Now, let us test the condition. Now, if it is true or false. The number is 0, and 0 is less than 5. True or false? So, since it is true, because totoo naman na 0 is less than 5, it will display hello universe. So, we have already one. Hello universe. Then, after that statement, merong number, then increment. So, meaning, mag-update yung value ng number. So, the number is now 1, not 0. Kasi nag-add tayo ng 1 dun sa variable number. Number is now 1. Then, hindi tayo magte-terminate. Babalik tayo sa condition. So, the condition again is number, but the value of number is 1. 1 is less than 5, true or false. So, dahil true, another print naman ng hello universe. Then, another increment for the variable number. Number is now 2. 2 is less than 5, so that is true. So, again, print hello universe and update the value of the number. Number is now 3. Balik ulit tayo sa condition. 3 is less than 5. That is true pa din. So, again, print hello universe, update the value of number, and then the number is now 4. 4 is less than 5. So, dahil true ulit siya, another print of hello universe, and another update for the variable number. And the number is now 5. 5 is less than 5. So, it is now false. So, because it is false, hindi na tayo magpiprint ng hello universe, hindi na mag-update ang number, terminate ng while loop, tsaka niya lang ipiprint yung that's all. So, nakailang print tayo ng hello universe. So, we have 5. So, this is for 0, this is for 1, for 2, for 3, and for 4. Hindi na tayo nag-print for 5 because false na siya. 5 is less than 5. So, that is how while loop works. And it is said that the number variable is referred to as loop control variable. So, bakit tinawag na loop control variable yung number variable kanina? Because it controls the number of times that the loop iterates. Nakadepende dun sa variable number kung ilang beses mag-iterate yung looping. No, siya yung nagko-control. Saan ba mag-start? Saan matatapos yung looping? So, while loop is considered as a pretest loop. Why? Sinabi dito na ang pretest loop ay the condition is evaluated first before the loop execute. No? Magte-test muna ng condition if it is true or false before mag-start yung loop. Now, if the condition is initially false, automatic, walang looping na magaganap. Now, automatic, hindi mag-display yung nasa loob ng while loop. So, if the condition is initially true, so dun lang mag-i-start yung looping. Now, the statement in the body will continue to be executed until the condition is false. So, if the condition is already false to start with, so hindi na magdi-display yung nasa loob ng dalawang brackets. So, that's why it is called a pretest loop. Test the condition first before the loop executes. Ayan. So, ito yung example kanina. This is the flowchart for our code earlier. First, procedure iti-test muna natin yung condition if the number is less than 5. So if it is true, print hello universe and add 1 to the value of number. Then repeat, go back to the condition. So if it is true again, print the hello universe and add 1 to the number. And the cycle goes on. So if it happens that the condition is already false, so terminated na ang while loop and proceed na tayo dun sa mga next statements. Yan. So let's have another example. Ayan. So this time, let us use simple input validation. So that means the user will input the data. So let us declare and initialize variable number pa rin, 0. Then statement, enter a number from 1 to 10. Then cin number, so meaning meron tayong input dito, number. So ikaw yung maglalagay ng value for the number variable. Then, let us include the while loop. Then, nandito yung condition. So, if number is less than 1 or number is greater than 10, this will be the statement. Cout error, enter a valid number from 1 to 10. Cin number. Then, outside the while loop, na meron tayong statement na you entered a valid number. Ayan. So, this is a small program na for the while loop. So, ang i-enter natin ay numbers from 1 to 10 lang. No? Kasi kapag mali, based on this condition, ibig sabihin, maglo-loop siya kapag patuloy ka nag-enter ng number na outside 1 to 10. Okay? So, let's try this program. Oops, kulang tayo ng semicolon. Ayan, so let us discuss in details this example. Yan. So, this is a simple input validation. That means, nakadepende sa akin, sa user, or sa kahit sinong magta-type dyan, yung magiging takbo ng looping natin. No, enter a number from 1 to 10. So, for example, I entered 3. So, let us test. 3 is less than 1. True or false? So, 3 is less than 1 is automatically false. And let us test another condition. 3 is greater than 10. Basically, it is again false. So, meaning, hindi mag-execute tong statement sa loob ng bracket. So, technically, ang magdi-display kapag in-enter ko to is yung outside the while loop na. You enter the valid number. So, let's try another example. Ayan. So, enter a number from 1 to 10. So, what if I entered 56? So, let us test. 56 is less than 1. True or false? 56 is less than 1. True or false? So, basically, false pa din siya dahil mas malaki yung 56. But, because of this operator, or, no, na kapag merong true sa isang condition, no, that will be evaluated as true. So, let us test again sa isang condition. 56 is greater than 10. True or false? So, basically, 56 ay mas malaki nga naman sa 10. So, it will fall into true. So, merong isang true. So, what will happen kapag true yung condition? Of course, mag-execute yung statement. So, lalabas itong error, enter a valid number from 1 to 10. So, if I entered 78, 89, 78, 65, or any number outside the range na magiging true dito sa condition natin, so paulit-ulit lang siya. No? Kahit 100 times ako mag-type dito. No? Kapag hindi siya pumasok dun sa, kapag patuloy na nagiging true yung condition, nagiging true yung evaluation to sa condition, no? Paulit-ulit lang din yung looping natin. So, what if I entered 4? I finally entered 4. I finally entered number within the range, 1 to 10. So, again, let us test the condition. 4 is less than 1. True or false? So, basically, it is false. And 4 is greater than 10. So again, it is false. False siya. So that means hindi na mag-execute ng another error, enter a valid number from 1 to 10. Basically, lalabas na tayo sa loop. And it will display, you enter the valid number. Ayan. So I hope you get the logic, no? And I hope you get the idea or the logic behind my example earlier, no? Regarding sa password. Na hanggat mali yung password mo, hanggat mali yung username mo, no, hindi ka makaka-enter dun sa main page. Instead, paulit-ulit ka lang nababalik dun sa page wherein you have to input your correct username and password. So let's proceed with counter. A counter is a variable that is regularly incremented or decremented each time a loop iterates. So just like the example earlier, gumamit tayo ng variable number, no? And every time na mag-loop yung ating while loop, no, nag-increment yung value ng number. So that is considered as a counter. It can be used to control the execution of the loop, also known as a loop control variable. So bakit? Kasi nakadepende sa kanya how many times na mag-iterate yung ating while loop. Nasa kanya yung control. No? It must be initialized before entering the loop. That's why the first step na ginagawa natin kanina is to declare a variable and initialize value to it. No? Kaya we have int number is equal to 0. And it may be incremented or decremented either inside the loop or in the loop test. Yan. So let's have another example. So let's have a program that displays a list of numbers and their squares. So the first step, again, is to initialize value to a certain variable. For example, once in minimum number, and you have to initialize value, which is 1, and min max number is equal to 10. Then int num is equal to min number. So this will be your counter. So nakadepende sa variable num, no, kung ilan beses mag-iterate yung ating loop. Cout number squared \n cout. Yan, so lagay lang tayo nito. Then another \n. So let's add while loop. While, and then inside the parenthesis is the condition. So while num is greater than or equal to the maximum number, yung kaninang maximum number na dineclare natin, mag-display siya nito. Call the variable num and add escape sequence tab and another formula to get the square. So how do we get the square of a number? So we multiply it by itself. For example, 5 times 5 is equal to 25. So what is the square of 10? 10 times 10 is equal to 100. So that's how we get the square of a number. Num ENDL. Num plus increment. So ito yung statement na nag-increment yung ating counter every time na maglo-loop yung ating while loop. Every time na mag-iterate. And so this is an example. So let's study first the condition. Num is less than or equal to max number. So as long as the num ay mas less or mas mababa dun sa maximum number, which is 10, patuloy na mag-iterate yung ating program. So if the minimum number starts at 1, then nag-increment siya, naging 2, naging 3, naging 4, naging 5, naging 6, until 10, no, that will be accepted. No? Magpo-fall siya into true. So here is the output of this program. Okay, so nag-looping siya and ito yung kinalabasan. So let us test the condition. Num is less than or equal to max number. So what is the value of num? The value of num is the minimum number. And what is the value of the minimum number? The minimum number is 1. So basically, 1 is less than or equal to 10. 1 is less than or equal to 10. Is it true or false? So basically, it is true. So meaning, magdi-display tayo ng statement. Call the variable num, which is 1, and then multiply the num by itself. Num, 1 times 1. So we have now 1 and 1. Then the num increments. 1 becomes 2. Naging 2 na yung ating num. And let us test again the condition. 2 is less than or equal to 10. Basically, it is true again. So display the value of num, which is 2. So here it is. May 2 tayo dito. And then, num times num. So num multiplied by itself. 2 times 2, which means 4. In another increment for the value of num, num is now 3. 3 is less than or equal to 10. That is true. So again, nagdi-display ulit tayo ng value for num, which is now 3. And to get the square, num multiply by itself. Kaya meron tayong 9. And so on. Until it reaches the value 11. Halimbawa, 11 na si num. 11 is less than or equal to 10. So basically, it is now false. So dahil false na siya, hindi na magdi-display itong statement na to, automatically terminate ang while loop. So hanggang saan lang na-display? Hanggang 10. Kasi hanggang 10 lang siya magiging true. Otherwise, pag lumampas siya, that will be false. So that is another example of while loop. Yan. So I hope you learned something about while loop. And for the continuation, now that will be on the second video na susundan nito. So that's all for this video. Bye!